day. How are you? Amazing. Hey everybody. Wow. Today's a Sunday and we're like a week before Thanksgiving, but I always do something around this time of year and it's like I purge. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm like Thanksgiving's coming, Christmas, Hanukkah, all my favorite holidays after Halloween. And I like to do a little bit of a cleaning, not a spring cleaning, just a bit of a purge. And I was looking for my calculator the other day, and I have this amazing calculator that I bought myself for my birthday present 2 years ago. And it's a plug-in, old-fashioned, one of those giant desk calculators. And the thing that I loved about mine was I got it electronic, so it doesn't have a receipt journal, it just has an electronic screen. The last time I saw that was when I was working, and I was like, where is it? And I remembered it's in the box in the garage that I have not touched since about July. Quarantine started in March, and then I was let go and I wasn't able to get to my stuff. So now I'm going through those boxes and I'm finding the pictures. I'm looking at all my unicorns, all my desk things that I had, and I'm piling it on my home desk. Just piling everything out of the boxes onto my desk, sorting what can I keep, what can I toss, and of course, I'll take a picture of all this and post it on my blog. But more than that, I'm being so nostalgic. Like, for example, I came across one of my Wonder Woman posters that my beautiful, amazing friend, or coworker, friend from my old job gave me. And I'm like, you know what? I have a plexiglass and a frame. I'm going to put this in. Then I came across Mima, which was this little puppet that I got everybody puppets where I worked. Because sometimes, when you deal with work environment and you need a release, I'm like, create an alter ego, have a little puppet, little hand puppet, and pretend for a moment. Tap into your child self. And you know what's funny? I'm looking at Mima. I'm gonna have Mima say something to you guys. What are y'all doing out there? It's me, Mima. Now let's go. Come on now. Come on, Fantastic Life. Get back to work. Okay, Mima. She's very feisty and bossy. Well. Anywho, so I'm really just going through the motions of cleansing, guys. It's so important. Besides for work stuff, right? Or besides for things that you do, I came across a box of my kids' stuff. You have to cleanse it. You have to go through. You can't keep every picture. You can't keep it all. Because what happens by the time they're in college, you have a box of stuff that you really never looked at. And it's kind of disheartening because you took it home and you thought you would. I honestly say create a scrapbook. Create a scrapbook if you can. And not anything fancy. Get like a giant old-fashioned binder. Get some page covers in there. And make one for each child. And then pick the top picks. And in that moment when they're little, ask them what's their top pick. Have them select it and keep it in there. And then when they get older, they can look through it. It's so funny. I saw this the other day. Someone was like, wow, Mom, look at all these pictures you have for me. First child. Second child. Okay, you have 2 pictures for me. Third child. All my pictures are online. It's kind of funny. I remember as a kid, you only could take one amazing shot because you only had 30 pictures in a roll. And then you had to get that developed. So you didn't even know if it was going to be your angle. Right? And then you get the picture. And out of all those 30 exposures, 2 of them would make the photo album. So, I love that nostalgia. I love to touch and feel, make it tangible for my kids. So I have little things for them that I maintain, so when they become adults, they can have a charm to look back to, And back in my day, when my mom passed away, we lost the apartment. And not only did we lose the apartment, disclaimer, tragic story coming. But I remember my mom passed away, and the court sent me a letter that I had to leave the apartment. My father had already gotten a room, and my sister had moved out, and I was trying to maintain this apartment. I remember I was taking any money I got from this job I had and was paying the rent, and I was trying to be quote-unquote a good citizen, making sure I did my good civic duties. I did anything I could to help my community, and then I got this letter that I had to leave. And I went to court with my sister, and we fought it, and they were like, why do you think you should stay in the apartment? And I'm like, well, I have a lease. And they were like, no, your mother has a lease. I was like, well, my mother passed away, and I'm her child. And they were like, no, honey, you're not a child, you're a grown adult, and you need to leave the apartment. And they honestly asked me, do I have anywhere else to go? And I said, no. And then I looked at my landlord and I said, I pay the rent. I've never been late. They wanted me out. So they gave me a date when I had to leave the apartment. And I was literally 20 years old. And so I said, okay, well, let me go, whatever. But I had to work that day. And they gave me till 5 o'clock that afternoon. I'm coming home. It's about 5:15. I'm walking home and I see a cop in front of my old house and my apartment. And I go upstairs and they padlocked my door. And it was the first day of the next month. And I said, what's going on? And they were like, oh, you don't live here no more, and we have to padlock the door. I'm like, yeah, I'm paid up until 5. They were like, it's 5:15. I was so shocked. I was like, please, my belongings. I have animals in there, my turtle. And they were like, get whatever it is that you can get, and then you got to go. So I was like, okay. I went into the apartment. I was able to grab 2 photo albums. I was able to grab an army bag that my father had, fill it with my stuff, anything I can take. I was able to grab anything up that I thought could be useful. A sheet set that my grandmother gave me, I stuffed in that bag. My birth certificate, I finally found my mother kept her purse. I put it in there, and it was all ripped up too. I put it in there. And then I remember I grabbed the cheapest VO5 hair conditioner I could find, and I shoved it in there, and my toothbrush. I grabbed all my garments in my drawer. I put on my boots. I tied my sneakers to my shoulders. And I was like, but I have all this other stuff, my sister's stuff, my father, my mother's stuff. And they're like, that's it. You have to go. And then I thought maybe they're going to give me a little more leeway. And I stepped outside the apartment and they locked the door. Everything that was in there was gone forever. Because I remember I went back the next day. Thank God I had a good friend who let me stay the night at his house. Just a friend. And I'm just going to say he's also known as Has Faith, if he's listening, because I haven't spoken to him in so long. I don't want to say his real name. But anywho, so when I went back the next day, my neighbors told me that they laughed the owner as they threw everything in my apartment into the garbage. And the garbage came that night, took everything, and it was trashed. It was so dehumanizing because we had just been through so much. Literally. My mother had finally, and my father had finally bought the house of their dreams. Then they got very sick. My mom got very sick, and it was tragic. And she couldn't keep up anymore because she was so sick. And although we all tried to help, she couldn't do it. So we lost that house. And we had to take this apartment as an emergency. So then we lived in this apartment, which was an inconvenience to all of us. And while we were living there, and my mom never missed a month's rent. And by the way, I'm just going to say 1876 Palmetto Street. You know where you are. God bless you. So while we lived there, I felt like they always did my mom dirty. And then that's how it went. So what happened to me, right? Well, I then slept on the train or the D train every night for 3 months. I was homeless. I was a homeless person, literally living in the outside of New York City. I would go to work every day. I would clock in, do my job. I was a full-time employee with medical benefits, right? Then I went to a shelter because I had nowhere to go. And the shelter said to me, "Are you battered? Do you have children?" I was like, "No." "Well, then you can't be here. Go to the next shelter. Go to the next shelter." They were like, "Okay, you have to stay here in this chair. You have to sit in this chair until 10 p.m. Otherwise, you don't have a bed." I'm like, "But I have 2 jobs. One's full-time, one's part-time, and I won't get back here by 10 o'clock. They're like, "Well, you can't stay here." Then I went to my father's room. Because, my father, when my mom passed away, he went through a depression. He couldn't just snap out of it. They would say, "You can't stay in his room." And honestly, I'm not going to blame any family. But no door was open for me. None. And it was one of the moments that to this day I have nightmares about. I do. I felt so alone. I felt so alone. Do you understand that feeling of being alone? That you have no one? Almost orphan-like? And I had family that was alive. And I had friends. No one was like, "Hey girl, you want to spend the night?" And then I had one friend who did try for me, but he had sisters and they weren't having it. Well, what does Fanny do? I do what I always do. I keep it moving. Every day after work, I would go to 23rd Astor Levy Parks and Recreation pool, and I would take a shower. I would get a locker, take a shower, wash up, do everything I had to do. So in my mind, that's where I was staying because I had my locker there. I would wash up, put all my stuff in that locker. Then I would go to my next job. So either I worked in the restaurant or wherever I did. And then sometimes a friend would say, "Hey, you want to go out for drinks?" I would chuckle and go. I had nowhere else to go. The warmth of a restaurant, not sitting alone. And believe it or not, I had money in my pocket. This is the craziest part. When this happened to me, in my savings account, I had $45,000. That's what I had in my bank. And it was no one's business. It was my business. And I constantly would go to get apartments. "Hi, I want to pay an apartment." I'm like, "I'll pay the first 5 months. I'll pay ahead 6 months." And they were like, "You have no credit from ever having an apartment, so we can't rent this to you." So then I went to buy a condo. I was like, "Look, I'll buy a condo." And I was like, one time I saw a condo was $15,000. I said, "I'll pay cash." They were like, "Oh no, how'd you get the cash?" Let me tell you, when my mother passed away, I wasn't left anything. There was not like this abundance, inheritance. I had nothing to my name. And the worst part was that not only did I not have, closing a door. Not only did I not have nothing to my name, nothing. I couldn't attain anything either. I didn't have $1 million, but I had $45,000 that you would think could help me. And then I thought, maybe I should buy a car. I don't know what I need. And then all of a sudden, I saw this advertisement on the train that said, "Let your money stay." And it was a whole advertisement, but I saw that, like, don't touch your money, just leave it alone. So I decided that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to not touch my money. I'm going to leave it alone. I could bear with this and figure this out. Things will open up. Well, my PIC, who I often mention, who had a baby, who had her own place to stay, she was like, "What is going on in your world? Why you don't live anywhere?" She was like, "We can't have this." So she figured out and got me a place with her in the Bronx. Now, I always say the rest is history because I've mentioned the rest many times. But I need to mention this window. By the way, PIC, much love and respect. But I need to mention this because this particular time, I literally had to purge purge my whole life. And it was in that moment that I purged and lost my apartment and everything. That rough November, December, January, whatever it was, I had to let go of everything. So I'm unboxing these boxes and I'm purging. I'm looking through. I even had this joke. Me and my husband, we got married. We moved a lot. We would always love our apartment, and then we find a better apartment, and we would wait for our lease, and we'd get a new apartment. And every time we moved, I would say, I'm getting a new coffee maker. It's a new apartment. It's a new coffee maker. And I would always make this, like, every time you get a new apartment, we get a new coffee maker. It was like a joke. So I'm looking through these boxes, and I'm like, oh, you can go in the garbage. New coffee maker. But it's just a part of opening up and letting yourself be exposed. Because the other thing is, I get so many comments. You know, I get a lot of love, and I appreciate that. But, you know, Fannytasticlife wants life that is fantastic, right? So I get that love, but sometimes I get these comments, and I'm like, you don't know me, but I see you wish you did. So let me bring you in. If you're listening, let me bring you in. Life is not always gonna be an easy journey. Sometimes you're like, I'm gonna go to the park. I'm gonna have a great, amazing day. But it might not work out. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, my beautiful, amazing cousin sent, I'm gonna call her Baby J, sent my son a Batman mobile. It's a cute little go-kart for him. He loves it. It fits him perfectly. And he's been riding around the house because it's cold. Yesterday was a beautiful day. My beautiful town was having their annual pick up your pies and fruit sale where everybody pre-ordered everything. I had ordered a coconut custard pie and my husband got that for me. And my husband went early because he was part of the Rotary Club in our town and it's amazing. And so I was like, well, should I bring the baby? So I brought the baby. We're having a great time. He's riding his little Batmobile, doing an amazing job. And we all have our masks on. And let me tell you something. I have my mask on, but if you don't wear your mask, that's your business. I will just stay a distance. But I'm not going to openly disrespect you. So while we were in the park, there was this family there with their masks. And every single person, the father of that family, was like, oh, she's not wearing her mask. What kind of crap is that? Oh, it's a children's park. First of all, in a children's park, everybody knows you need to elevate your happiness plus 10. So you're like, oh, I'm having a terrible day. In a children's park, it's not so bad because I'm in a kid's park, right? You elevate it for the kids. But he is like going at it. And now I'm sitting outside the little play area and I have my mask on, but my back was turned to him and he was like, oh, we can't go over there because she doesn't have her mask on. You know, and I turned around and I was like, excuse me, what'd you say? You know what I'm saying? Because, listen, you cute that you think you could criticize people. And you cute because you think that they're not going to bite back. But baby, she got teeth over here. I have on my mask. I'm cute. I'm fuzzy. But don't come over here. Get snatched. Snatch you up. And he was like, oh, not you. I was like, then who? Then who? You see what happened right there? I was all happy and elegant, but I get gangster real quick. Don't stir this pudding. So then this lady came with her family and she didn't have her mask. And I was like, so what? Because she's far away from everyone. Okay, maybe she left it in the car. Nope, it's not going to bother me. She's over there. He then tells his child, oh, the mean old lady didn't want to wear her mask. Now we all have to leave. I was like, honey, boo-boo, what? I stood up now. All of a sudden, I become a public servant. This is now I have to advocate for everyone. And I see the wrong and the right. I see, okay, you upset because she didn't wear her mask. And she's upset because you calling her out. Ding, ding, ding. Bell goes in the ring. I'm just like, whoa, what's going to happen? So then he's leaving. She's walking that way. I'm like, uh-oh. But what does she do? She walks to her car, grabs her mask, comes back with her mask on. And she is upset. But she's just chin up. And then he's over there. And now she puts on her mask. And he's still in his car talking whatever he's talking. And then she walks past me. Now, my husband had already walked away. I'm gathering my kids. They're not next to me. I'm all alone. And you know I talk to strangers. I can't help myself. So I'm like, oh my God, no, he didn't, right? Are you guilty? Do you feel guilty? And she's like, I do. And I was like, girl, don't let him bother you. You put your mask on, but he guilted you? She was like, he sure did. He embarrassed me in front of my kids and my family. I was like, it's not a big deal. Did you put your mask on? You're okay? This man is angry. She was about to cry. And I was like, don't let him do that to you. You were happy when you got here, right? And she was like, yeah. I was like, girl, live you. She was like, that's how I'm going to live me. Walks inside the park. We said things. I don't know what we said. It's all a blur. But here's the point. I don't know why people do that. They walk around with baggage. They do. And then I get these comments. Oots, 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 oots. Like, ooh, I see your comment. Checkmate, here's my comment. Queen's Gambit, love it, watch it, Netflix. Here's my comments. Every time you say something negative to hurt someone, you know what you're really doing? Saying something about yourself. I'm gonna tell you what. He was projecting because the first thing he said when we got there was how much longer? To his wife. I don't think he really wanted to be there. 1. 2. Does he work for the CDC? No, sir. You're not on volunteer time. Calm down. All of that frustration, anxiety, hysteria is what he's projecting on everybody around him. Right? I get these comments sometimes. Somebody once asked me, every time I click, how much you get paid? Well, pardon me? If you want, I'll send you the link and you can set up your own podcast. Hey now. But I'll tell you what, every time you click, it's free to you. Hey now. You know, what is that? But all I can say is it's okay. We all gotta purge and let it out. Found my calculator. Oh snap. I love my calculator. Yes, my phone has a calculator. Yes, my computer has a calculator. But that calculator, the way it cashes up, the way I can add payroll tax, amazing. The other day I had, I do coaching, consultations, you know, I do a lot of things because I'm that type of person. You know how they say, jack of all trades, but master of none, no baby. I'm a jack of all trades, but I'm the boss at this one. So, you know, I make my own rules. So sometimes I'll get a reach out. Hey, can you help me run a payroll? Absolutely. Here's the information you need. I don't work for anybody but myself. Right? I have no job. But I am available to help you. Hey, I need help with this paralegal work. It's just depositions. Can you take a look at it? Absolutely. Here's what you need to do. And then I can do what I need to do. See what I'm saying there? I gotta be strong upon my own 2 feet. You know how you go shoe fly go, shoe fly shoe? You can shoe fly me all you need to. But I'm going to go ahead and land somewhere else. And I'm always figure it out. I'm always about that. Always about reincarnating what I'm doing. Reinventing who I am. Reincorporating what I've learned. And moving forward to refocus myself. That's my trajectory. That's what I do. It's my self-innovation. Full circle. This is my full circle. You, as you go and you start your day, you're going to wake up. You're going to open your door. You're going to lift your shoulders up high. You're going to face the day. By the time you come home, you may be slumped over. Let go of that. Remember who you are. Remember who you have always been. My knick-knack paddywhacks never made me. My cute and funny eraser didn't create my life. Everything that was tangible, wood that I had to let go of. Somebody will always be better, stronger, faster. Poor Kanye the other day. Better than you, right? I had to TikTok about it. Go check it out. There will always be somebody that is in that type of way. You can do a two-step, they can do it. And God bless them, but God bless you too. Remember that. Please, if you just heard me run on and you didn't learn anything, learn one thing. God bless you. God bless you. And God bless me too. That's it. It's very simple. What'd you learn the other day? What'd I say? Typical, right? Let it go. Purge it. Remember when you purge? Use a black, extra strong garbage bag. That's like a 50-pound one, a real strong one. So if there's some pointy in there, it won't break through. Tie that sucker up and toss it out. Because when I purge, baby, I'll leave no victims. You know what I'm saying? All right now. Thank you so much for going on this journey with me, a fantastic life. I hope that if there's anything holding you, let it go. Let it go. Be light. You will feel so much better at the end. Many blessings. Take care, and I'm always thankful for you.